Welcome back to the Big Joy session. Sarah will be joining us soon. She's setting herself up to join us. Thank you very much for coming over to this session. The previous session was with Ava. Dadan was the one who was taking us through the session. There are some links that Dadan has sent over. That's the link to the Telegram group, that is t.me Ava Co-op. Please follow that link to join the community and follow the conversation in there. So as Sarah is still joining us, we're going to acknowledge my wish and the role that they've played to make the EOS Summit a success. They sponsored the EOS Summit, and they are a platform that makes EOS smart contract development and creation very easy. Okay, so it's Lynn who will be presenting. Wrong person. Okay, just a minute. Let me get you back in, Lynn. All right. Lynn Duke going to be joining us shortly. Awesome. Hey, Lynn, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Good to see you. Great. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Great to see you.
Awesome. Good to be here.
Switch up. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, very good to meet you guys. You guys are doing a fantastic job with all of the speakers that have been on so far.
Thank you very much.
Are you tired yet?
Yeah, it's just about to get there, but I'll be fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. Very excited to be here. I think I speak for all the team members on BitJoy when I say that we appreciate this slice of time to show you our project, what we're passionate about. So I have created a few slides to kind of keep me on track. I'm kind of notorious for rambling. So let me share those, if I may.
Yes, please, go ahead. There's a screen share button when you hover your screen.
Application. Let me know if you see those slides appear.
Okay, they should appear in a minute now. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. So hello, everybody. I've met several of you, but my name is Lynn. I'm the CTO at BitJoy. We are creating sort of to sum up a high-level definition, we are creating a DApp platform for gaming and a token-based protocol called BitJoy. Essentially what BitJoy allows gamers to do is it creates a connection between a live game streamer, so say Twitch and Mixer, and their viewing audience, and allows those two parties to interact. They do this interaction via a standard EOS token we call the power token. And so there's a sort of a lot to unpack there. But before I do that, I wanted to just show a couple slides that sort of define the live game streaming industry sort of as we see it, and make sure that we all kind of have the same foundation for the next few slides. So when I say live game streaming, we at BitJoy, we think of the large players like Twitch, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with. But there are some other platforms like Mixer, which is owned by Microsoft. There's YouTube Gaming, Facebook GG, and then one of my personal favorites, which is Caffeine in beta. And they're sort of this really disruptive live game streaming platform that is up and coming, built by a couple of ex-Apple engineers. And I believe it's more of a mobile-first type of platform. So that's how we define live game streaming platforms, and these are essential for BitJoy to operate. One of the questions that we get a lot whenever we talk about live game streaming, invariably, like every time, is, oh yeah, live game streaming, I think the kids like that. And so they sort of have this notion that it's a small industry, and that couldn't be any further further from the truth. It's absolutely huge. So I put a slide together here with some metrics that we have. These are even a couple months old, that sort of illustrate how large this phenomenon is. And of course, we always use Twitch because it's kind of the 800-pound gorilla in the room. But Twitch has over 500,000 viewers. Some other stats are super impressive. Everyone's heard of Fortnite, but Fortnite plus a few other games have contributed to over 4 billion hours of gameplay that have been streamed over the internet. This is as of 2 or 3 months ago. It's probably higher. And then individual streamers who are streaming their gameplay experience attract record numbers of viewers. And these viewers have a set of personas, everything from just people who want to view, like TV, all the way an entire spectrum of viewers who want to interact, maybe learn how to get better at the game, or wish they could influence the game, which is where this conversation is headed. So one of the records is actually about 628,000 viewers tuned in to watch one guy hold a gamepad, or actually it's a keyboard and mouse, and play Fortnite. His handle on Twitch is Ninja. He brings in about 500,000 USD per month. In a recent interview, he hinted that he's close to 7 figures per month from his viewing audience. It's insane. So that's sort of an overview of the industry and how large it is. Since I only have a few minutes, I'm doing the typical problem solution slide. So I've painted the picture, the backdrop of this industry, this live game streaming industry. So a lot of people are probably going, yeah, what's the problem? So this is a tweet that I stumbled across just personally, and I love it because I think it embodies not only the core value add of the BitJoy platform, but I think it embodies the core problem with today's live game streaming and where disruption is going to come from. So I'll just read it really quickly. It's probably small print. So, quote, "Maybe someday I won't feel like a social outcast on Twitch. I want my community back. I've never been satisfied. I'll never be satisfied streaming until that happens. I have good viewer numbers, but it feels like I'm streaming to nobody. My interaction is non-existent." So the two sentences that I surfaced there are over to the right on the slide. He feels like he streams to nobody, and his interaction is non-existent. And so that interaction word is really what I want to take through the rest of this presentation. And that's what BitJoy provides, is interaction, token-based and token-denominated interaction. Probably should unpack that a little bit more before we get into a video that I want to show. This problem is because there's very limited means on today's live game streaming platforms that you can actually interact with your game streamer. So everybody knows you can chat, right, via text. It's kind of meh, I think, just my opinion. There are voice over IP options. Obviously, you can donate to your streamer. There are viewer polls and tiny mini games and extensions you can have around your Twitch broadcast, and likewise with Mixer and the other platforms. But what I really want to touch on is there isn't really a way, today anyway, to influence actual gameplay. And so that's really where BitJoy, I think, is where we're taking BitJoy and where it wants to shine. And what I mean by that is, if I'm watching a live game stream, right, I could do those things I mentioned there, but what I really want to do is I want to participate in some small way. I want to influence the game and actually see the game code react to my whims. There are several scenarios that this could happen. I could want to cooperatively play with the game streamer. I could want to versus the game streamer, right? And there's some other interesting ones I have on a slide coming up in a second. But I think the real takeaway, and the one that I'm the most excited about, is that game developers cannot and actually don't even think about involving or monetizing viewers. And I think that's because it's relatively new. So at the risk of telling you how old I am, I was a game developer for a number of years, and some of the guys and girls on the team were also game developers, and some still are. And one of the things we can tell you from the experience of developing games for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, you name the console, is that you never ever think about the people viewing the game, typically. Your number one concern is the game player, that guy or that girl that's holding the controller. You think about game mechanics you can build that will keep them interested. Game mechanics will keep them engaged and increase their value as a user. Typically, the next step is, how do you monetize that? Great, you've got an interested player and they are hooked on your game, but how do you actually earn money as a game developer? So one of the things BitJoy does is it opens up a brand new addressable market that game developers aren't thinking about today, and that's the game viewer. So just quickly back on one of the other slides, we mentioned it in that one game stream that game Ninja had a little over 500,000 people watching. That is an addressable market that BitJoy seeks to provide to the game developer, both in terms of gameplay and monetization. So the solution. This is the companion solution slide. Obviously, it's BitJoy. Just to restate what that is, it's a token-based platform that creates new forms of interaction between live game streamers and their viewers. The thing that sets it apart is the gameplay will react in real time to the tokens that are flowing between streamers and viewers and game assets. And I think that's really where BitJoy will shine. A few of those gameplay mechanics, just real quickly, I'm probably burning a lot of time on this slide. Cooperative play scenarios, versus scenarios, wagering, if betting is your thing. A little bit of a fringe one is community-driven games. If you've seen the game called Death's Door, there is no game player. The viewers are the players, and so they meet at pre-scheduled time slots, and they play the game as viewers, and they propel the game forward via voting. So that's an incredibly interesting one to us. There's player investment. Imagine backing a player as they go to fight a difficult boss or a tough level. And if you back them with tokens, you could potentially earn a share of the game loot in that game world, proportional to how many tokens you've invested. It's another interesting one. Non-fungible token, our play for that is a non-fungible powered up game asset, as well as viewer rewards and other things. Really, the sky is the limit there. Real quickly on this slide, we have a token. It's a standard EOSIO.token token. It's called the power token. And this is the token that flows between viewers, streamers, and the on-chain game assets. Awesome. So I've probably been talking a bunch. I have a video that I'd like to show. So let me switch the screen sharing. Am I still live? I see my face. Great.
It's okay.
Great.
Oh, you took off the screen share. Just you can take back the screen share so that you can do the video.
Okay, great. Okay, I see it, I think.
Good to go.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. So this video, just a little bit of setup, and then I'll move into it. So we showed this video. This was a prototype that we had running on the mainnet, on the EOS mainnet back a couple months ago at Blockchain Live. It was truly doing accounting. It wasn't using EOSIO.token contract. I have a comment about that later when we do a November update where the project is. But it was working in terms of the interaction, the Power Wallet sending and receiving, and doing accounting based off token balances. So just to give everybody an idea, I'll hit play. Apologies for the recording and the audio. I think it'll come through, and I don't want to talk over too much of it. So this is a live game streamer. Pause for just a second. Imagine this is a Twitch stream, and the game streamer has a sword that can receive power tokens. This has been pre-configured by a game developer via our developer portal. Viewers are sitting at home. They pull out their Power Wallet, which is a mobile app. And in real time, they send power tokens to his sword. So real quickly, the two apps here are two separate viewers. Maybe they're sitting in their living room or in a cafe somewhere, and they are going to cooperatively charge this sword. Once the sword gets to 1,000 tokens, the game developer has configured a set of rules that say, okay, activate the effect, double damage. Here's the payoff. Last 100. That's cool. So at the top, you see a bar that's running down. That's a 30-second timer that's just for demo. The viewers see that they've activated the streamer's effect. They're enjoying the show. Maybe he's fighting a boss. Use your imagination there. And for 30 seconds, he's this leveled up dragon blade that he's using in the game. Once the 30 seconds are over, the tokens flow back to the wallets of the original contributors without a fee. And that's just sort of an example that I think really hits it home when we talk about this viewer and streamer interaction within the context of a game world and a game item.
That's really cool. If you don't mind, maybe you can share the video later. I think
absolutely
on YouTube, a YouTube link would do.
Yeah, you got it, and a better, higher quality version. So yeah, let's see. Let me get back to the slides. I hate to do that to you again, but I'm almost through the slides.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. On track.
Yes, go ahead.
Share.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so that was our video. If you have any questions, please let us know on our Telegram or on Twitter. I have some other links I can share just in a second here. So one of the things I want to do is give an update. So like I said, that was 2 months ago. We also attended the blockchain, the San Francisco hackathon. Spent some time there. That's where I met the EVA guys and a lot of other great, incredibly talented EOS community members. But in that time, we were still working. So I want to give an update kind of where we were. You've read our white paper, which I'm going to assume most haven't. But if you go look at the white paper, the vast majority of those features are now implemented in smart contract. So we're fully using the EOSIO.token contract and implemented a ton of stuff on the Power Protocol itself. The Power Protocol is what developers will use to integrate either with their dApp, their blockchain game, or even a mainstream game. Rechargeable power-ups, lots of configuration options are built into the contract. On-chain monetization of these token flows, something that I don't have time to touch on, but in that demo with the video, no one earned any money at the end of that. Sure, they staked tokens and they all participated in this awesome effect game experience together. Ultimately, nobody earned money. Well, that's a configurable setting on BitJoy's in the BitJoy portal. So you could easily configure that game item to hold 0.1% or 1% of the tokens once the effect was done, and that's sort of a form of monetization for that game. Just performance with absorb. That's now implemented in the smart contract. Transfer of game items, expiration, refund, edge cases we found, all that's implemented in smart contracts. Really for us, what it looks like going into December and Q1 is implementing the Power Protocol and other features that we want to test in the sandbox with the community in a game called Rekillers. Rekillers is a zombie tower defense game. Those pictures kind of speak for its the genre and style of the game. But we're going to use this game to showcase, hopefully, 100% of what the protocol and the smart contract can do. We'd like to get this out very early Q1 on the testnet, and then invite people to come play. We'll stream it. You can be the viewers. We will actually use test power tokens. Just really quick, a team update. We've added a fourth. Longtime friend, ex-colleague, Chris Haynes joins us as a COO. And incredibly lucky to have him. Sharp business mind, and it's that time for BitJoy where we need that kind of input. So shout out to Chris there. And I think one more slide. Hopefully I'm under 20 minutes. These are places you can learn more. Our website's bitjoy.io, super easy to remember. Twitter, BitJoy_EOS, there's an underscore there. And of course we have Telegram, white paper on our website. How did I do on time there? I think I'm still live. So that's it for BitJoy. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of the team members, Sarah, Marshall, myself, or Chris. Again, on behalf of BitJoy, thanks for letting us come and talk your ears off on what we're excited to build. Okay, I see you in chat there. Great. Thanks so much, guys. Oh, wait, I see a question. Let me see if I can hit it. Oh, I was at the San Francisco hackathon with you, and I remember meeting people talking to me about this. Glad to see the project. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to build it. We're taking it there, so we're super excited. Another question. Cool. My question is, will this one day be on major consoles as well? That's from Jimmy. My answer to that is yes. I think if you ask any of the team members, the answer is yes, because it really, BitJoy will have a set of SDKs, and these SDKs are very, very thin. Like many other projects, we don't want developers to think about blockchain, but we want them to be protected by the blockchain. So, right off the bat, the first SDK is the Unity SDK, and that gets us on any console that Unity can support, which is up to like 7 or 8. So I'm going to say yes. So, all right, someone's coming back. Just want to say bye.
All right. Thank you. Sorry about that. My screen decided to disappear on me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much, Lynn. I'm sure guys will follow you in the chats, in Telegram, and also on Twitter. Thank you very much. Hope to
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate
Bye.
it. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. So we're gonna jump into the next session with Karios. That's right about now.